Amin Shah, been threatened with contempt of court by Matthias Chang, right? But again, I think I would survive. I would not be able to do this if I was myself not asked to do it. Why? And I think, well, I believe that there's a reason why I was made chairman of the PAC, and knowing my funny sort of sense of humor, my reputation, up till today, let me say that I've never been reproached by the Prime Minister. I mean, as far as my party was, I have heard of murmurings of unhappiness with the PAC chairman in cabinet. But to be fair to the Prime Minister, I think he has not said, "Hey, Shahrir, can you quieten down, or can you avoid doing your work, or something like that, or can you look at something else?" And I think that's why I think that sometimes we don't give him enough credit. This Prime Minister, whom everybody says is sleeping at meetings, and we don't give him enough credit. Because what we have here today is something perhaps that we never had for a long time. I remember the lawyers marching, right? Great, fantastic, but I think the whole thing happened in 1988. That's when it started. And what happened then? Why didn't the lawyers march then? There, Teresa, she sits in the corner. And I remember I had my own by-election in 1988. No fear of the Elections Commission. I won. It was a big deal. But we make a stand. We all have to make a stand and accept the consequences. Teresa goes and stands as a DAP member, and she wins. And is that your father? No, you keep alone. And anyway, very clever. So I agree completely that I think that we want to know, right? And we cannot simply say that we have an excuse or you can't find it. I think, especially now, whether it is what is debated in Parliament, whether it comes out in the PAC meetings, it is all recorded at verbatim, and it is all available. And I encourage even the newspaper reporters to just spend time and read all the minutes of all the PAC committee meetings, and they'll be surprised how exciting it really is, because it's really reported at verbatim, and it is available for anybody who care to read about it. But of course, we ask the the Secretary of Parliament that they should be put on the website, because now everybody wants more web savvy than reading written reports. But unfortunately, he told me our server is not big enough, so of course this will be it's a government department, because Parliament is seen as a government department. It's a Prime Minister's department. Believe it or not, it is seen as a department. We can't just say we want to buy the server because it is not in the budget, because it has to be in the budget first before we can buy a server, because that's how the government works. And therefore, we have to wait for the next budget, because we will spend more money on other things. Anyway, but I will not take too much time, because I think the questions will be more interesting. But let me just say that first, what the AG is doing is remarkable. There have been changes. the cabinet gets very excited about the report. The cabinet gets very excited about PAC, and after the AG's report, we have decided that it should be the 50% of our work, which is we will follow up on what happens from the report. We'll study all the issues of the report. And of course, the IKBN issue is the most exciting. The last one that we did was on the support for the, what do you call it, bantuan baja untuk petani, how do you translate it? Fertilizer assistance for the paddy farmers. But of course, the media is not interested in that because it doesn't happen. It doesn't bother us. Those of us who live in KL, who cares about budget? So we looked at it as well, and we noticed there were going to be problems because the expenditure on the fertilizer assistance support program will increase, but the increase in the output is only 5% a year at most. And if we want to achieve 90% self-sufficiency, it's not going to happen within the target period. And of course, there are also leakages. And there are leakages because at the local level, the organization, the farmers' organization is not so well organized. But this is rural stuff, not so important. The next one that we're going to look at, although we in fact wanted the Attorney General to brief us on the Port Klang free zone issue. Unfortunately, he's away battling it out with Singapore on Batu Puteh, and then he can't come for the next meeting that we're having. We'll be looking at the other issue which has been raised in the Auditor General's report. That's on the past pekerja asing, which is a very topical issue. But I'm saying this that the Auditor General's report does get attention from the PAC. Then, of course, the PAC is a toothless tiger. Right? And someone asked me, the press asked me, do you want more power? I say, I think not, because the more power I get, the more corrupted I can become. So, because Parliament is, the whole of Parliament is toothless, right? Teresa will agree with you. And we are part of Parliament.